Good Lord, that is a mess. What's going on, folks? I'm Renegade, and welcome back to another project build episode. Rebuilding this, my 1982 Yamaha XS400J, the Maxim. So remember how I said I'm a junkyard dog and I don't throw out anything that might be of use? Yeah. Look at all this. Now, a lot of this is stuff that came off of my XS, this bike, the Maxim. Some of it is parts from, I think it was a 1980 Yamaha Special 2. It was given to me as a parts bike, but I couldn't use many of the parts. At the time, I had this one on the road. And some of this stuff is from 93 Kawasaki ZX600. Long backstory there, we won't get into it. And then of course I got random bits and whatnot from my XS, or my XJ, the bike I normally ride. Yeah, I got a bunch of stuff, and I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to use. That's what today is. Today is figuring out and sorting through all the parts I have to try and figure out more of a plan of what I'm going to do. Now, this is a different planning situation than last episode where you saw me make the cardboard cowl for the rear. I'm waiting on parts for that, so I can't move forward with that part of it. But now that I have the idea, I can continue to plan around it. It's a very involved process building a motorcycle like this. You got to plan step by step by step by step. So it might not look like a lot's being done because it's, you know, planning and sorting and planning. But a lot is actually getting done. It just takes a while to actually look like it's happening. Alright, so off camera, I started going through my box, and I found some of it. Now, I put the wiring harness on here. As you can see, yeah, this is going to be a lot of work. It just destroyed. Basically, when the tail got severed, for lack of a better word, so did all the wires. That's kind of the main reason for doing this right now, putting everything on, is because I'm going to have to fix the wiring, which means I'm going to have to figure out where the wires are supposed to actually go. I hate wiring. It's going to be a pain in the ass. Let's be honest here. So, I've got that on. I also put things on like my front controls. They're on loose because they're not going to stay on. You know, as I said before, everything that's going on is temporary. But it's kind of helpful to figure out where everything is going. Now, these perches are on here. Again, same thing. Temporary. They're just there for space purposes, really. Because I know for a fact, those are getting replaced. I'm not keeping those. I'm probably going to keep the old controls, though. The actual turn signals and everything, as long as they still work. I have to test them all, which means having a battery, having it all connected, everything like that. We'll get down the road. Hopefully that's right. I'm realizing small problems, like I think I'm going to need a different pull setup for my brakes, because I don't think this is quite right at hitting there. Of course, I know mine is completely bent up, so I'm probably going to replace that anyways. Since the frame is from a Seika and the pull I have is from a Maxim, I'm not sure they line up entirely correctly. This is when it gets interesting, trying to figure out what can work, what can't work. But, as always, we'll get there. I'll figure it out. It's not that big of a deal. I found the brake caliper, which may or may not be seized. I don't know. That's on temporarily, just so I don't lose it, because I don't want to lose it again. I got the wires routed where I believe they're supposed to go. I think. It has been a really long time since I worked on this bike. So I'm hoping that's in the right place. But progress is being made. That's the main thing, right? Found my carburetors. Found a bunch of spare parts, like these wiring harnesses. Well, one of these is for the Kawasaki, and one of them is for the XS. I think this is the one. Yeah, whichever one this is connected to is the Kawasaki. I don't really care that much. At this point, they're just kind of gonna be donors. These have good connections on them, and I'm just gonna reuse a lot of the connections so that I can basically use the parts. Because different components, like this, which is my jacked up TCI board, I hate these things, have a particular set of connectors that go to it, and it's far easier to just reuse the connectors that go to it than trying to muck about making new ones, or at bare minimum finding connectors that fit, because I don't know if I have the connectors that went to this anymore. Maybe they're in that rat's nest, but I do know that I can find a connector which will fit, and I can just wire it up correctly. This is the tedious part of building a bike, especially when you're rebuilding a bike. I kind of wish I had a lot of reference photos, because I'm kind of spacing on where some of the stuff goes. But the cool thing is that because I'm doing a custom bike, it's not as important. But word of advice, take photos, reference photos, everything like that. The other good thing is that should I get too desperate, I still have my Yamaha Bible. All your information for the bike in here. That's gonna be of use. Always is. Let me keep pressing on and seeing what all I have that we can use, huh? Need turn signals? I got a few. As I said in the last video, I'm not planning on using them. I got a different plan for those because I don't want weird sticky outy bits. If I can, the only things that are going to stick out are going to be the bars. Everything else is going to be streamlined. I did find my pegs, thank goodness, because now I have 2 pegs, which means I can actually like really sit on the bike to test its seating position rather than trying to put one foot on a peg and try to hover the other one roughly where it's supposed to be. Not a major thing, but it's useful. Once I know where everything can go, then I can start doing the actual fabrication and trimming. Like, what's this? I don't know. That's probably part of the lock. I don't know what this is. Probably, actually that's probably one of the mountings for the tail unit on the other one. Don't know. There's a bit of a guessing game involved in using different parts from different things. That's why we plan all this out. So, good news, bad news time. Good news is, I'm done going through all my random bits. Bad news is, I don't know if I have everything I need. Probably gonna end up having to order a bunch of stuff. But, at least we now have a rough idea what I have and what I can actually use. Some of the stuff, like I said, I know I've got a bunch. Like, I have a bunch. I think I've got like 3 pairs of turn signals. I have a stock headlight from a Special 2, or I mean a tail light from a Special 2, which I could use. I'm not going to though, because I want to use something else. But, again, it's part of the planning process. We have to do it so we know what we're looking at. I guess the next step really to do is to start bolting some of the stuff in place. But the main thing is just getting the wires roughly where they need to be. I keep going back and checking my rough block out design just to make sure everything is as I want it to be. It's obviously going to need some fine tuning. I did do a little bit more of the fine tuning after my last video, kind of getting everything kind of neater. But I'm realizing some of it needs to be changed. This bottom is going to have to come out a little bit because I think that's supposed to be the mount for the fairing. It's supposed to slide on, clip. So we'll have to do that. And I think I am going to get the stock piece, which is supposed to go here. And that'll cover all this and lead up here. So then I will have the exact shape to make this piece. It's a big process. It really is. Obviously, I'm not showing you all the little finite details of like sitting here and trying to figure out, well, where's this thing go and this thing, because there's a lot of stuff that you guys probably don't want to see. I know it. I admit it. Yeah, making progress. Always making progress. I think we've come to that critical point in the project that I'm pretty much at a standstill until I get my parts. The one thing I can do, I can cut my seat. This way I know where it's going to be. I think that's going to be the next step, because I have a little bit of mocking up to do. Just on that alone, I mean. One thing I didn't realize, the bike has this flat piece here. My bike has a tongue here. There's actually not enough space to fit here. So, when I go to slip the seat in, I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's actually just hitting the bottom. So I'm going to need to put in a new bracket, one that sits a little bit lower. Obviously I have to cut this because I want it to be shorter. So I marked out on here roughly the shape and followed it down. So I've got a line here, and I figured out roughly where it's going to be on the frame. So I think I'm going to peel off this, well, for lack of a better term, destroyed vinyl, and I think I'm going to cut this. This way I can, start actually doing something, being productive. Let's go ahead and do that, shall we? Well, folks, no going back now. Seat pan, cut. I might be able just to knock that a little loose. I don't know if you guys can see that. Might be able to make that tab work rather than making a new one. I'm not sure yet. But, yeah, I'll probably take a file to it real fast. But there you go, now we got a rough shape. Yeah, so I'll get this sorted out real fast. A little finagling with a file and a pair of pliers, and it's on. Now, obviously, I have to space this back here because there's nothing actually holding it up. You see, it's just kind of flopping. Should sit about there. And there's all that space, which is fine because I also do need to figure out a way to attach this thing. But hey, I mean, it's starting to take shape, isn't it? Now that's making a little more sense. Obviously the angle's wrong, but I got all this extra stuff in here, so until I clip that all off, that's gonna have to do. It's taking shape. It's starting to look like something. I'm excited for this. Now obviously, this bike has so many different parts that have to go involved, or that are involved in building / rebuilding. Got the engine. I have to do a full rebuild on that. Got to tear it apart, new rings, new bearings, new gaskets, the whole nine. I've got to fix the wiring. That's a, I'm dreading that. I hate wiring so much. And then obviously we got to do the body panels too. This is all on top of the basic replacements. Like obviously I need a new wheel. You know, I got a new headlight, a new tail light. I got to get the new perches and levers and the whole 9 yards for that. It's a very step-by-step process here. But we're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. Now the great thing is, now I got the seat so it'll actually sit on the bike properly. I can actually test it. That's going to be good. That's going to be really good. Comfortable place. Yeah. I'm good. I'm happy. You know, it never does look like you did a lot, but I did do a lot today. Got a lot going. So I gotta get the pieces that go here. I gotta start figuring out all this. That's gonna be a pain. So I think we're gonna cut it here, and we'll talk more when I get more parts. Ah, the elusive side panels. Good morning, folks. It's been a little while. If you aren't caught up at this point, I was in DC for a little while, and then was editing videos and working, and it takes a while to sometimes get back to filming. Anywho, I'm back, and it's another day of working. Now granted, you guys are seeing this at the end of, you just watched me do something on the bike and say, we'll be right back. Well, I know it took a little while, but we're back. So, a couple things changed since. And part of it was just because I didn't feel like recording, and I did this stuff off camera. But, here's what we got going. I made a metal version of my cowl. Still playing with lines and whatnot. It's not perfect, but, you know, body work and whatnot, it takes time. I also got the new inner fender, which I ordered. It is the stock one for this bike. Obviously, I got those side pieces. Side pieces were able to give me my line for that. Like I said, we're not done yet, but we're getting there. Also got these. They're the frame covers, heel guards, whatever you want to call them. The exhaust will sit under here, and this is the exhaust hanger bolt. Mounted this up so I know my space. Got my tail light mounted, my headlight roughly mounted. Again, this is all temporary things. I'm not done hooking it up. No electrical has been run on it yet, but it's just for space. Now, the reason I had to get these covers was because they are very important for figuring out where all the body lines and everything have to be for the bike. This one less so. This one's actually just the battery cover. So I'll just put back on. It also holds the starter solenoid, which is a useful thing to have in place. Like I said, the reason for these is so I know where all my body lines are. And where my body lines are, then I can plan out where everything else needs to go, where everything else can go. I have mounting bits I need to hook up. For example, since I know this is where the side cover is, I know where this body line is supposed to go, I know that I will have to hook up something for this peg, and I will also have to keep in mind that I cannot have this piece go farther than this piece for my mounting. Unfortunately, I did end up with this little gap here, but I'll take care of that. Obviously, I also need to trim this. Same goes for the other side. A lot of this is still loosely mounted because I'm still trying to figure everything out, figure out where everything needs to be. But the more progress we make, the better. Like now, because I have the inner fender here, I know where my fuse box is supposed to go. We'll see if I actually put it there or not. No idea yet. Oh, I guess these go in those holes. Yes, yes. Also realize that that's an awfully small hole here. We'll have to widen this, which I'm already planning to do, because you see the gap here. That's going to get bent back so I don't have this sharp edge. I think it looks pretty cool. Looks even better with the seat on it. It's kind of cool to think that not too long ago this bike looked nothing like this, huh? Now we're making progress. A lot of progress, even though it doesn't seem like it. Things do need to be adjusted still. This isn't exactly straight. This still needs to be hooked down so it sits flush. I gotta get a lock for that. That's gonna be what holds it down, I think. Obviously, all of this is still loose and floppy and nothing's exact. And unfortunately, I don't have this piece. You see how there's this silver piece over here? This panel? This is all one panel on this side. On the other side, the silver section on this one is a whole nother panel. And it's supposed to hook in same way as over there, but I can't find it. So hey, if you happen to be watching this and you got a line on this panel, this piece I need, do me a favor, let me know, because I am searching for it. All right. But now, with everything set up like this, it leads me to doing the final little bits for this tailpiece, so I can get it mounted correct. With everything mounted up like this now, it gives me the opportunity to see where everything's supposed to go and figure out the last little bits of mounting I need for this tailpiece so I can get it done. Obviously, it's still not mounted. We're getting there. So everything on a bike fits together like a Chinese puzzle box, meaning that you need to know where everything is going to go so you can then plan it out. It's a bit tricky. It's kind of a pain in the arse, to be perfectly honest with you. But every bit that you do is a bit farther. Now, I didn't go and show this on film just because, frankly, there's a lot of hammering. There's contours you can't quite see. They need to be sharpened up. Like this is actually an indent here. So when you look at it, I don't know if it'll show up on camera, but this goes out and then curves the end a little bit. Same with the top. Spray it with some more paint, I think. A little curve here, a little bit here. A lot of these imperfections can be fixed with some body filler. Ultimately, I went with metal because I want it to be sturdy. All right, because this will double as a possible seat for a passenger. It's not going to happen often, I'm sure, but maybe. So that's why I wanted to make sure I had it on there. It's also why I'm keeping my passenger pegs, although I think they're aligned the wrong way, because if you put any weight on this, it's going to snap out. So I have to realign those. Like I said, it's a lot of little things that lead up to this. And some of it I just didn't want to show because it's not interesting to watch. No one wants to sit here and watch me bang on a piece of metal for, I think it took me like 3 hours to get it shaped and welded together and all that stuff. Basically all I did was I took the cardboard mock-up that I had and I used each of those panels as a template. This top panel, I just traced the cardboard onto a piece of metal, cut it out. I had that, same with the sides, and then welded them together. It's pretty simple, it takes a while to do. And it's an important step, but it's tedious. Luckily I had all this great scrap metal lying around, so I just made it out of that. About the same thickness as what I used for the tank. So yeah, with stuff like this on, and this panel which holds my rectifier and my TCI board, this is a temporary placement of the TCI board, by the way. And all this stuff on, the majority of the setup is done. Thank heavens, because it's really a tedious, annoying task. The next part is a little bit more fun. Well, it's the setup for the more fun things. It's called shopping. I obviously ordered a couple things already because I already have them. Like I ordered a new tail light, a new headlight. We'll get into those in another video, explaining what all they're doing and what direction I'm going with those things. And obviously I already have the clip-ons and that type of stuff. But now we're going to get into some more interesting parts, the more fun things. They're not going to be in this video. They're coming soon. I got to order them. But I think the things I'm planning on doing with these things are going to make this bike very unique. And that is going to be part of the goal. This is not going to be your stock, or this is not going to be your standard Yamaha Maxim Cafe Racer. This is going to be quite different. Alright, so these are the things I know that I'm going to need to take care of. Got to plan for turn signals. Levers and perches I need to get. A speedometer cluster. Bar ends. Exhaust. Engine rebuild parts. I lumped them all together, but basically your engine rebuild parts, your gaskets, your rings, your bearings. Doing a full engine rebuild on this bike. When I'm done, the engine should be like brand new. Need to get new sprockets and a chain. I'm gonna go with a 520, of course. 520 O-ring. Need to get a new rear tire. Need to get brakes, front and rear. A new rear brake pull. Need to get locks. I need one for my seat. I need a gas cap. I need my ignition. Because all that stuff is, well, gone or non-existent. Looking into crash protection. Need to get mirrors, obviously, and a front fork rebuild. Possible modifications, maybe? They're not written down in any particular order. It's just things that I'm looking at and I'm seeing like, hey, I need to take care of this, I need to take care of this. Obviously, this does not include paint. Paint is a whole nother animal. Oh, and of course, seat cover. Obviously, there's going to be hardware I'm going to have to get too. I got to get some bolts to replace the temporary ones I'm using. It's a lot going into this, man. It's a lot. But in the end, this should be really, really cool. This is a great position. I gotta re-angle my bars a little bit, but man, it is starting to take form and I cannot wait. This is gonna be awesome. In my head, I'm already seeing it going down the road. Imagining, you know, pulling the throttle again. Vroom. Oh, that's something. I need a new throttle tube. I'll write that down too. With everything I'm doing, this should be super awesome. I can't wait to get it all done. I can't wait for you guys all to see what I've got in my head for this. In the end, it should be really cool in terms of design, and it should be really cool with some interesting little features. I can't wait. So, that's going to do it for me for today. I'm sorry this video is a little chopped, but you know, a little bit of a reset while I was waiting for parts. I'll be going inside and ordering parts so that when they come in, I can show you and we can start getting into some more fun things. So I'm looking forward to those fun things. I also know some of it's not going to be fun. Like, I got to do the wiring. Certain components are going to involve major wiring. I have to fix all the wiring, and I'm not looking forward to that in the least bit. But it's a necessary evil. What can I say? So thank you all for watching. I hope you've enjoyed so far. As always, there's a link to the playlist down below for all the episodes of this build. If you've missed any of them, if you want to catch up, if you're new, you know, hey, if you're new, thank you for watching. I hope you stick around to see what this bike looks like when it's done. Please hit the subscribe button. If you're looking forward to seeing the bike all done and ready for the road, favor, hit the thumbs up. And as always, follow the social media links down below. And you want to help me with this build? You want to contribute a little something? Why don't you buy me a coffee? Coffee goes a long way. Every penny matters when you're doing a bike build like this. So for today, that's it. Y'all keep rocking and rolling. I'll keep taking care of business. I'll see you in the next one.